Hi, I'm Carolyn. If you're watching this, maybe it means that somewhere over the last 25 years you made some kind of connection with my music. And if that's the case, that's pretty cool. But of course, if that's not the case and we're meeting each other for the first time, that's pretty great too. Hi. Either way, I'm making this video because I find myself with a bucket full of new songs that feel like maybe they have the potential to do something good or true or beautiful in the world. And I'm hoping that you might be interested in being a part of the process of helping me get them recorded. So I want to tell you all about the project, which actually is two projects. But before I do that, I do need to acknowledge a dilemma. It's a very strange time in human history. We're dealing with a global pandemic. We're dealing with heightened turmoil and concern and long overdue awareness around issues of racial injustice. And I have been wrestling with myself over whether this is an appropriate time to try to raise funds for a project or even work on a project. And so I need to say two things about that. The first thing is, if you are currently in a season of financial stress, please don't even think about pledging to this campaign. The people who can take part, who can afford it, will take part, or some way, somehow this music will get made and it will find its way to you. So please don't give it another thought if the timing's not right for you. The second thing I need to say is that the reason why I've gone ahead with this project in this strange time actually has to do with one of the songs that will be on the project. It's a song called Without Music, and most of the songs that are going to be on this record were written quite recently in a creative burst. But there's three songs that were written in another little mini burst about 3 years ago. And one of them is this song, Without Music. And the words in this song are about the fact that no matter what you put human beings through, music still seems to rise up in us as a source of comfort, as a source of strength, as a kind of rebellion, a kind of symbol that there's always hope, that there's always more to come. Here's a little bootleg snippet of the first time we ever played that song.
Without music, life would not be fair. I heard someone say, well, God knows there's injustice everywhere, but the music will not go away.
So anyways, we are going to do this project, which, as I said, is really two projects. Part one is a full-length album of all new originals. It'll be 10 or 11 songs, and it's called Recognition. It will feature, as my music always does, my duo partner Spencer Capier.
What's the question again?
You're just saying hi.
Hi.
Spencer will be playing his violin, his mandolin, his bouzouki, his guitar, his mandola, and his octave mandolin. In addition to me and Spencer, we will have Miles Hill on acoustic bass, Phil Robertson on drums, and of course we'll be working with my co-producer Roy Salmon. We'll be engineering and adding his instrumental secret sauce as well. When we're done getting all that music recorded, then we're going to give it to Richie Biggs. Richie is a mixing engineer. I'm massively fond of his work. He's mixed records for Joy Williams and the Civil Wars and the Lone Bellows, just sonics that I love, and he's going to mix this music up for us. We're pretty excited about it. Part 2 of this project is actually another recording, an EP called Our Songbook. And what will be on that project are songs that we use whenever we're asked to help lead worship with groups of people. It's just some of our very favorite kind of heart songs. A lot of these songs, people have been asking us for our versions of them for years and years. So we're finally going to do that. Spencer and I will record our acoustic versions of those songs and put them together on the Our Songbook EP. So the plan is to get all that music, both projects, recorded, mixed, mastered, get some beautiful artwork and liner notes together for them. In fact, for the Recognition project, we commissioned Brian Bueller, beautiful painter. He did a painting interpreting the lyrics of the title track that I just absolutely love. I'll tell you more about that in the rewards video. But we're gonna make these two projects as beautiful as we possibly can, and we're gonna get all that music out to Kickstarter backers by the end of the year. The projects won't be available to the public until well into 2021, but the goal is to get the music out months earlier to Kickstarter backers. Now, our reason for doing this through a Kickstarter is twofold. Reason number one is financial, as you might expect. The music industry has changed a ton since I put out my last full-length original record in 2014. These days, most people get their music through streaming, Apple or Spotify, and that's great and super convenient. But I can't figure out how you can recoup the expenses of making a record from streaming income alone. And so our hope is that by offering you this music way ahead of time, with a bunch of rewards and an invitation to be part of the making of it, that you'd be willing to invest in it now and help us make the record. We do need about $20,000 to finish things up for both projects. The second reason why I'm excited about doing this through a Kickstarter is, as convenient as streaming is, and it is convenient, and these projects will eventually in 2021 be available on streaming. Still, there's something about streaming where you miss receiving an album as a whole, hearing how the artist conceived the songs unfolding in a certain order, in a certain way. And maybe that's corny, but I'm just really excited about the opportunity to offer you some work as a whole, let you receive it as a whole. And then next year you can put it on playlists or mix it up with other things on your streaming platforms. But I'd really love to offer you these two works, Recognition and Our Songbook, as kind of creative wholes. So I'm pretty excited about all this. Do make sure that you watch the reward video to see all the different things we've dreamed up to be fun and to invite you into participating with us on this project. The funding deadline for this is August 15th, 2020, and that happens to be 25 years to the day from the release of my first CD, I Can Hear You. It's funny, that first project was all about learning to pay attention and learning to hear God speaking into and out of the thick of our days. And really, 25 years later, with Recognition, I'm really working on a lot of the same themes, attending to God, recognizing Him in places where we don't recognize Him at first. But in between those 25 years, there's been a lot of learning and love and loss and life. And I hope it will all add up to something beautiful that I can offer you. I'd sure appreciate it if you could be a part of it. Thank you for listening. I'm excited. See you soon.
I can